Right, we are back here at Fitchella and workout number three, smoke on the water. They have a two-part, two scoring opportunities here. Part A is 12 calories on the bike erg and 8 burpees over the line. And then part B, AMRAP swimming widths. Athlete gets out after each lap. So basically you can't just carry on swimming. You have to do a lap, get out after each lap. So it will be towards us. They'll touch that side and then swim back and then get out the pool. So two scoring opportunities, like I said. Part A being 12 calories on the bike. You can see the bike set up there. And then 8 burpees over line. And they are underway. 10-minute cap here for these athletes. And some athletes choosing to go with freestyle. Beautiful swim technique there in the far lane. And all the athletes swimming away. I see now they got those worms out there. So it's not a burpee over the line. It's actually a burpee over that worm. Remember last year they actually had to squat with those worms, and those worms were brutal on these athletes, especially getting back in the pool. This year, a little bit easier in terms of just jumping over. Well, not easier. Burpees are still tough, don't get me wrong. But I don't think it's going to have that muscle fatigue like they did last year with those squats. You can see some athletes choosing to put their towels down. I can imagine that those mats must be extremely hot. See them waiting there to tag out. Those mats will get cooler, obviously, as the water gets onto them, but getting, like I said, I can imagine them to be pretty hot. Right, in lane number 1, we have MCC Team on the Move. Lane number 2, Flexual Healing. Lane number 3, Masters of Balance. Lane number 4, Motley Mountain Collective. Lane number 5, Proven Fitness Tigers. Lane number 6, Beweeg Jou Deeg. Lane number 7, 2.5 Men. Lane number 8, the Eric Munch Academy. Lane number 9, Court Konings. Lane number 10, Unboxed Unbroken. Lane number 11, Powerpuff Girls. Lane 12, Dumbbell Darlings. Great little kick there under the water as well. You can see this man here on the screen definitely has some swimming experience behind him. I'll have a look now to see how many of these athletes have the tumble turn in them. It's always quite funny to see the CrossFit athletes try that tumble turn if they've never tried it before. And beautiful. Here's our man again. Not too sure how the lanes are. We're going to see now if we can get a name on that. It is very blurry. I actually can't see what that name is. I would assume that's lane 1. So that is Team on the Move. And it looks like that cadence on that bike as well. They are moving right now. Remember, 12 calories on that bike, and then onto those burpees. Okay, so we have 12-minute time cap. This is just confirmed now. We have 12 minutes for this workout. 2 scoring opportunities. Part A is 12 calories on the bike erg, 8 burpees over the line. And then part B is that AMRAP swimming widths. This is an AMRAP, so they'll do as many rounds as they can for those 12 minutes. Choosing to go with no goggles, unless they came off. Luckily, it's not too far of a swim, so it's not going to bother you too much. And as you can see, they have to get out. So you can't continuously swim. Last year they could continuously swim. This year they'll have to climb out. It's one of those workouts you just have to keep grinding. 12 minutes can be a long time when you have different stimuluses on your body. So you obviously have that stimulus of the legs getting that pump on the bike, and then all of a sudden you're in this full body movement where you're doing your burpees over that the worm, and then straight into the pool where you are majority, yes, you're using your shoulders, but you're also kicking with the legs, using your core, trying to stay afloat. So quite a variety here in terms of what your body's going to go through. And you'll actually see that these athletes might get taxed a little bit quicker than you would believe. Halfway, these athletes are moving nicely actually. Most of them looking pretty comfortable in the water. I haven't really seen anyone not look comfortable actually, so this could be a nice heat for these athletes. Nice long rest there for that lady who just jumped in on the left side. And that's what you want. Try get this work done. It's short, it's quick, but then you can have a nice little rest before you jump into the pool. Remember, you have to wait for your teammate to get out. But when your teammate swims that fast, I mean, she's already back. That poor lady had no rest. She just finished her 8 burpees and went straight back into the pool. It's quite interesting there. I see she's waiting there again. I don't know if she's going to jump back onto the bike or not, but I think she's going straight back into the pool. So interesting strat there that they're using her for the swim. And there, our man, our swimmer, he's once again out. He just tagged and went straight back into the pool. So it looks like he's also the main swimmer there in lane number 1. 2.5 men on your screen here. My dude needs to get a tan. And that's the first time he's had his shirt off all year. Into the pool he goes. Choosing to go with the breaststroke. Make sure she gets all the oxygen she needs. It's the thing with freestyle. If you're not efficient, if you're not used to that freestyle position, you can actually really tax the lungs as well. Obviously not breathing properly, getting some water in the mouth. And a man with the white t-shirt on back in the pool. He's not actually wearing a t-shirt, just in case someone missed that. And off he goes. Coming up to that 9-minute mark now for the athletes. Remember, 2 scoring opportunities for our men and ladies here. 12 calories on the bike, 8 burpees over the line, or over the worm. And then part B is the swimming width. So they'll be trying to get as many as they can. And as we've seen, some of these athletes just choosing to have a swimmer, and then the other 2 are chipping away at those 12 calories and then the burpees. I think that could be a good strategy. See if you have that really strong swimmer, and then every so often one athlete can maybe just jump in for the swim. choosing to go there. Oh, nice little tumble there as well in the speedo. Anyone who owns a speedo, I'm pretty sure they can do a tumble turn. Well, we say that now. I don't know if we've seen that those fuff speedos have made their way around. If you don't have a fuff speedo and you have an actual swimming speedo, I'm pretty sure you can do a tumble turn. That lady got her shoes on, so she's obviously not jumping into the pool at all. She's just sticking to the bike. And that's another thing to put into a factor here as well, is those pedals. If you've ever been barefoot, especially when your foot's been in water and you become a little bit more raisin-like from the water, and you go put your foot on that pedal, it's not comfortable. Small little things like that could affect athletes as well, pushing a little bit harder on that pedal, driving that pedal down to try to get those watts up, or in this case calories. See that big effort there. The man on the right hand side of the screen, he has really pushed it now. As we come to that final minute, they want to get some extra rounds here. Just stepping over there, over the worm, not choosing to jump. I think that's a better strat anyways, out the gate. Save some energy. You want to actually reverse that, so your first 6 minutes, rather just step over, and then as you start getting closer to the finish of that timer, then you can start jumping over, start putting a little bit more pressure on the other people. But in this sort of workout, I'd definitely go out a bit more conservative and then just hammer it at the end, making sure there's enough in the tank to be emptied. Final 20 seconds. You can see there, I mean, that lady's doing breaststroke, and I mean, she's not that far off those other athletes who are doing freestyle. She was right there with them, so freestyle clearly working for her. The breaststroke working for her, and the freestyle not working so well for these other athletes. So she's saving quite a lot of energy and maintaining a gap, and that looks to be the end here for these athletes. You can see them struggling there, struggling to get out the pool. Another brutal workout done and dusted. Great effort here from all these teams. Very well done. Next up, of course, we have heat number 2. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a little bit. right, off we go. This is heat number 2 underway. In lane 1, we got RX loading. Lane number 2, the cleanup crew. Lane number 3, Tigers EMA. Lane number 4, Chasing the Sun. Lane number 5, Two Buffs and a Brain. Lane number 6, the Fellowship of the Rig. Lane 7, Rough, Tough and Stuffed. Lane number 8, MCC, What Now, One Later. Lane 9, Fixablika. In lane number 10, we have IP Fitness Connect. Lane 11, Sweat and Regret. Lane 12, MCC Beefcake Factory. It'll be interesting to see the strategies that these guys want. We saw in the previous heat we had some teams only having a swimmer, while 2 of them were just working those 12 cows and 8 burpee over the worm. So remember, 2 parts to this. There's 2 scoring opportunities. You have as many laps as you can within the 12 minutes. That's scoring opportunity number 2. And then scoring opportunity 1 is 12 calories on the bike, 8 burpees over that worm. How many rounds can you get in 12 minutes? And like I said, we had a clear swimmer in in the previous heat for a couple of the teams, and then 2 dedicated athletes on that bike. Clever man there. He's got his flops on, and off they go. And like I said, if you've been in that water for even 1 or 2 minutes, those pedals can get quite sore on the feet. It's something you want to try avoid. It can slow you down. That's the last thing you want, to slow down in this workout. Pace yourself, yes. I did mention a step over strategy instead of jumping over. Not too sure what the actual standard is, but we did see some teams stepping over the previous worm without getting no rep, so I'm assuming you can step over. I try to save as much energy as possible before really putting the pedal down to the metal. See a couple of those fuffsters with their speedos. Oh my word. Our homie there climbing out the pool, I think he was blinded a little bit. He missed the edge completely. He found it. Nice big dive. So this is also, oh my word, that guy basically belly flopped in there. Because you're swimming the width of the pool, not the length of the pool, you can actually get a nice big dive in and take quite a big chunk of distance out. So it's good to see some of these athletes really putting in a nice big dive. And they're just gliding it through. You'll find most guys who are very comfortable with the swim can probably almost go the full width of the pool. It's not exactly the widest pool in the world either. Try to take advantage of those things. Get those reps in. See there, the athlete just to the right there, 10 to 1, is going to start struggling a little bit. Not the greatest swim technique. A lot of wasted energy there in the water. Hopefully you can hang on for the 12 minutes. Not seeing any dedicated swimmers just yet. It looks like everyone is pretty much just jumping on the bike and the swim. I might be mistaken. I did see someone with just shoes on, so I'm assuming they are only doing the bike and the burpees. Let me know in the comments, what would you prefer? If you had to break this up, would you do both? Would you do just the swim, or would you hit the bike and the burpees? You're more of a land person. Let me know. Honestly, in this heat, I'd probably do both. if you are in watching this live, let me know where you are. Drop us a like as well as a subscribe. It does help us in the algorithm. The better we do, the better our productions can be later on. Fitchella 2024 brought to you by Reebok. My name is Jason Viking Friedman. I will be carrying you guys through to the end of Fitchella this weekend. It would have been great to have actually been there, but in Joburg, unfortunately. And so huge shout out to sportvot.com. They are helping us out so that I could commentate remotely. Ooh, I can see a couple of guys are going to get proper sunburnt. Guys who haven't taken their shirts off in about 8 months. Forced to take their shirt off, yeah? See, there's some smart athletes with those slip-on shoes. Another thing that you got to take into consideration is just that the setup of the bike. So a lot of people I see, they'll set up that bike not at the correct height. So what happens there is you actually start taxing the quads, the hamstrings, even the glutes. You start taxing a little bit more than you should. And you've got to be careful that she doesn't get a foot to the face. So you want to try and make sure that that setup is correct for your height. You can save those legs a little bit. Those legs are going to take some strain, especially on those burpees. See a couple of these athletes not too comfortable with the water. And really struggling there. She is a little bit. Just trying to get to the end, finish this one up. Possibly should look at her just staying on the land, finishing up those curls as well as those burpees. See if someone can take a few rounds on the swim for her, just to change that strategy up. I think that's also something very important. You need to recognize when your strategy isn't working and not be shy to change things up. Usually, if athletes have worked together, they'll know when to do this. They'll most likely have a plan B, plan C even. Things do go awry quite quickly in these CrossFit events, especially there's such a difference between competition floor versus you being in the gym. Competition floor, you can sometimes push a lot harder, or you could push too hard and absolutely tank. So a workout that you might have been really good at, because that adrenaline is flowing, you got everyone around you, that atmosphere, that competition atmosphere, you might go out way too hot and just absolutely tank. But then you also have those athletes who thrive under that pressure, who do really well in the workouts, but not too much in the gym. So those are sort of things you got to look out for. It's the same thing with, if you look at the CrossFit Open, you have those online athletes versus in competition athletes. You'll probably find, like, and it always happens actually in the Open, most of the time you'll see some of these guys right at the top there dominating in the Open, and you think, oh, okay, these guys are up and coming, they're going to do really well when they get to quarterfinals, semifinals. Semifinals, not really quarterfinals, and then they don't really perform as well. And that's just the difference between online and being on the competition floor. It's a big difference in terms of how you compete. These athletes here on your screen now, they are struggling a bit there. A bit of confusion as well. Wasn't too sure who's doing burpees, who's going for the swim. Is he diving? Is he not diving? Got to be clear with your communication as well. And as we start nearing the business end here, you can see the athletes really starting to take some strain. The cadence on those bikes have slowed down immensely compared to when they started. Our lady in the pink shorts about to get back in the pool. She's not been enjoying that too much. Off she goes. Lane one. Off she goes. I see she's got a watch as well. It's always nice to have a watch just to track where your heart rate's at. Know whether you can push a little bit more. Sometimes they're not very accurate if you don't have that heart rate monitor on you, especially in water. But it does help just to give you an idea. Sometimes your body will tell you something like, oh, give up now, like you have that little demon in your head. All it takes is a little bit of a nudge. I think a lot of people who might know me know that I swear at myself and talk to myself a lot in workouts, and that generally just helps me get through workouts. Um, and I think that can help a lot of people. There are obviously different mantras that you can have. So one of the things we also do is mind strong, body strong. So you just repeat that. Basically, what that is, it's more of a distraction than anything else, because now your brain's focusing on what you're saying to yourself, that you're not actually focusing on what's hurting. So that's also a little tip that you guys can use if you in these sort of workouts, AMRAPs especially, where you have to grind away. Very nice, good technique. Nice little tumble there as well. Great stuff. And you can see with that tan, that Aki's in water all the time. That homie is a fish for a big bloke. And he looks cool, carbon collected. He's telling the guy to go swim. The other guy doesn't want to swim. He's like, wait, what? Me? Gee whiskers. I think that homie hasn't taken his shirt off in 2 years. Guy with the purple shorts. And that is time. Brilliant effort, yeah. I think these athletes, a couple of them went out a bit too hot in that round. You could see those last few rounds on the bike, the burpees as well as the swim. A lot of these guys slowed down. There's our fish chatting to his friend. I feel like that homie in the red shorts probably should have done all the swims. I mean, he looked so comfortable there, and just let those other two just smash out the bike and the burpees. Right, but don't go anywhere. Of course, we got heat number 3 coming up next. So we'll see you shortly. Heat number 3 underway here at Fitchella 2024, brought to you by Reebok. In lane number 1, we have Alex's Birthday. Lane number 2, 3 to Thrive. Lane number 3, Diamonds and Punch. Lane 4, Lions Bay Phoenix. Lane 5, MCC Chat CPT. Lane 6, MCC Just for the Clicks. Lane 7, Finnoch. Lane number 8, Super Squirrels. Lane 9, MCC Led Horizon Lifters. Lane 10, Finnocher. Okay, so there's Finnoch and Finnocher. Lane number 11, Footlife Honey. And then lane 12, Triple Chocolate. Very, very fast out the gates here. They are sanding it right now. And I mean, all these athletes are just putting the hammer down. Going to be interesting to see, can they hang on? We've seen the previous teams tank a little bit near the end. Remember, 12 minutes. They have two parts to this. So double scoring opportunity. They can get points for as many rounds as possible of 12 calories on the bike, 8 burpees over the worm, and then that is scoring opportunity 1. And then scoring opportunity 2, as many widths, because remember, they're not swimming lengths, they're swimming the width of the pool, as many widths of the pool as possible in 12 minutes. And the teams that have done well so far, they've had a dedicated swimmer and 2 dedicated people on the burpees and the bike. And so far, I've seen pretty much everyone jump in the pools so far. I haven't seen anyone have a dedicated swimmer only. I think everyone actually needs to. I think one of the standards is all 3 athletes must swim, and then thereafter you can choose to have a dedicated swimmer. And you'll see a lot of the athletes, some of them have flops or slip-ons just to help out with those painful pedals. And like I mentioned before, you also want to have a nice, decent setup. You can see there one of the athletes setting up her bike. And that's what you want. You want to make sure that you have the right length for that bike, just to save those quads and those hamstrings, especially with that hinging on the burpees. But that burpee as well, a lot of athletes you'll see, instead of dropping down, they're almost like putting their hands on the ground first before kicking their feet out. You need to actually just drop down. So as you're dropping your hands down, you're dropping your feet down as well. So basically just falling to the floor. And that's going to save you a lot more energy than basically doing a body weight deadlift all the way to the floor and then going down to the ground. See there as well, he's choosing to basically lunge. So he's lunging down to the ground. You're wasting energy there. Just drop down. Save as much energy as you can in those sort of movements, especially with a burpee. Burpee, you don't want to be using a lot of energy. We know that burpees are not the best thing in the world. You can see how choppy it is as well. Obviously, with everyone in the pool, that also plays a little bit of a factor in your technique. I love that little witch hat that guy's wearing. That is awesome. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Fitchella, the fitness party. Look at these guys. It'd be cool if they swam with those as well. I'm not sure if they are, but it'd be cool if they were. I think I totally would. Why not? Right. Already athletes are starting to feel that burn. See a couple of them. Hands and knees. But I must say, lane 1, moving nicely. You can see there also how he was just dropping down, giving him plenty of energy. choosing to basically squat down there in lane number two. Not too much energy. So she's just kind of falling into that bounce. It's not too bad. Still not the most ideal burpee, but whatever works for you, I guess. See that collapse down in lane one, just how he falls to the floor. That is how you want a burpee. Smash and go, baby. Smash and go. Oh, I was hoping for a tumble there, choosing not to. That's okay too. You don't have to tumble, especially if you don't know how to. The best is when when someone tries to, they have no clue how to tumble and they decide to do that. It's always entertaining for us here in the commentating booth. Well, me in my commentating booth at home. You can see Mr. Mini. I think that's Mini. He's peroxided air. We always have a joke between Edouard and myself and the other guys. His 2,000 Rand haircut. He doesn't really spend that on his hair, but it's just quite funny. He's always got different hairstyles and stuff. Nice. She's moving nicely. She's got shoes on there as well. Other lady also got some shoes on, so they got a dedicated swimmer. So let's keep an eye on that. Chat CPT on your screen, yeah. Edouard, I'm going to question you on that one. Where's that tumble turn, buddy? That is the men from Lions Bay Phoenix. And Alex's birthday, they're still doing very, very well there. Still barefoot though on those pedals. Oh man, out there, it looks like I think that's lane 9 in the blue shorts. He's moving so far. If you look at the cadence of his legs versus everyone else, he's moving right now on that bike. As we come to the business end here of the workout, moving into 8 minutes. Remember, we are looking for 12 minutes. It's an AMRAP. Not too bad on the swim there. Do a little bit more kicking. And there's our dedicated swimmer. She's been going non-stop and she's doing really, really well for her team. I wouldn't be surprised to see them walk away with the heat win here. And tumble turn, she knows what she's doing. It's always that's what I really love about CrossFit is that you always have these athletes with these backgrounds. Like she's obviously got a swimming background. They know it. Tech tags her in and off she goes again. Obviously got a decent swimming background. And you'll find you'll have athletes that have triathletes backgrounds. I mean, you look at Faree's coming from a triathlon background, coming back to CrossFit now as well. But he's gonna, yeah, I think he'll be a threat in this sort of workout. The bike, obviously, and the swim. Yeah, and that's something that he's going to be very, very strong at. So all these different sports play a small role in different workouts that you can do where you know you're going to have a strength. So that's what I love about CrossFit and the ability of athletes. That there's such a variety of athletes coming from all sorts of backgrounds. You know, Tian there at the back there as well. Man comes from rugby. Rugby also, the way you train for rugby is you basically have a bit of CrossFit in there. So Great to see. As we 2 minutes left for these athletes. Now we're going to see if they've paced this well. They're going to start putting the hammer down. And it looks like Mini, guy with his peroxide hair there at the moment, he is putting the hammer down. Our swimmer, out she goes again. Those other two ladies in the pink, they were pretty much rep for rep with some of the men's. Just under 90 seconds. You can see now they are putting the hammer down. This is what you want to see. You want to see these guys that last 90 seconds, even the last 2 minutes, start putting down the hammer. If they pace this well, they are going to do well. Rather finish stronger than having emptied the tank out too early. You see a beautiful tumble turn here again. Off she goes. Great stuff. She's also picking up the pace now. Coming up to that final 40. Into the water once again. She is really sending it now. And this just shows you the fact that she's at the end of this workout, 30 seconds remaining, and she's pushing the pace. She definitely knows what she's doing in that water. Great, great stuff. 20 seconds remaining. Will this heat shake up that leaderboard a bit? Final 10 seconds. And time. That was a great effort here by this heat here. It'll be interesting to see how they shake things up in the leaderboard. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with you shortly. Heat number 4. Right, off they go. And this is heat number 4 here at Fitchella, brought to you by Reebok. You're going to see how these athletes handle this one. Previous heat did really, really well. Pretty much every single team had a nice, strong finish in the end. Remember, 2 scoring opportunities in this workout. The first scoring opportunity is on the bike and the burpees, so 12 calories on the bike, and then you go into your 8 burpees. Scoring opportunity 1, and then scoring opportunity 2 is in the pool. How many widths of the pool can you swim? And that is scoring opportunity 2. So we've seen in the previous heats there have been a couple of teams choosing to have a dedicated swimmer, which is actually saving a lot of time in terms of that transfer as well. And all they do is they make sure that they get their swim done. Every athlete has to get in the water. So you'll see your first round, pretty much all of them in there. But once they've done that, then you can have a dedicated swimmer and you'll see the shoes come on. There's already an athlete there putting on the shoes for the bike and the burpees. So they'll tend to want to have a dedicated swimmer that is just going to focus on swimming. It's quite a high jump to get over the worm. And it looks like it is hot out there in Cape Town. Oh, beautiful stuff there. Looks like they are going to have more than one swimmer. Yeah, they are. And off they go again. That is Butterbella in lane number 4. So they have a dedicated swimmer, making sure that they eke out as many rounds or widths as they can for the swim. See an athlete there barefoot and not looking very comfortable on those feet, and I do think his feet are probably sensitive from the bike erg. So far, everyone looks like they're fairly composed. I haven't seen anyone really push the pace. So look to see a strong finish here from these athletes as well. Nice. Using the legs, kicking nicely. And out he goes. They also choosing to, all 3 of them, by the looks of it. Well, it looks like they might actually just have one person's, and they're going to rotate between 2 swimmers, and then one person's just doing the bike and the burpee over the worm. There's our guys on the screen there now. South side there greatly. And on your screen now. And yes, that is correct. They have 2 swimmers. And 1 man dedicated. That's interesting. 1 man dedicated to the bike and the burpees. It's quite a brutal task for 1 person, but hey, maybe the guy's got a massive tank. It's not a bad swim there from Our Lady in the Water. No tumble turn though, but not too bad. Let's see. There's our man here with a swimming cap do? I mean, if you own a swimming cap, surely you're going to do a tumble, right? No, no tumble there. I thought maybe he owns a swimming cap. I mean, you can't disappoint us like that. Unless Fitchella's given them swimming caps. I actually don't know. Maybe someone can let me know in the comments. Do they actually get swimming caps? I have no idea. Belly flop there. You can see some of our judges getting some camera time as well, taking photos. Our man here in the blue with his blue shoes has been doing really, really well. Every time the camera comes onto him, he's got the same pace on those burpees. And that homie's got some pistons there on that bike. So pretty sure he's going to fly through those 12 cals pretty easily. We mentioned this before. We want to see a nice, decent setup on the bike as well. You want to make sure that you have a nice high, well, according to your leg length. A lot of the guys have a shorter setup on the bike, which is going to tax you a lot more than you actually realize, especially with the quads and the hamstrings. So if you can get that right setup on the bike, you're going to save yourself a lot of energy, especially for those burpees. You know, the burpees can really start taxing those hamstrings every time you bend forward. That's why I say, rather before you start, so look how this man's putting his hands down on the right hand side of your screen, basically putting his hands down on the floor and then kicking his legs back. You actually want to try to drop down to the floor. So in one motion, your hands and your feet are going, your hands are going towards the ground and your feet are going backwards. You basically just drop into the floor. You want to see a perfect example of that in the previous heat. I think it was lane number 1. Check him out. That guy was flying, and he was really, really getting that technique down in terms of the burpees, just dropping to the floor, shooting back up. A couple of the ladies here also doing breaststroke. I actually saw a lady in heat 1. She was doing breaststroke, but she was actually keeping up with the ladies in both the lanes next to her that were doing freestyle. Just shows you. And here we go again. We look at this guy in his blue shorts, and he's almost got it. He's just kind of just dropping down. So as he jumps over, drops down to the floor. Our camera crew there taking photos of lane number 9, lane 10, I think it is. Our lady there in the grey shorts struggling to get out the pool. And they have a dedicated 3 swimmers there. And that's quite taxing if you think about it. Because remember, I spoke about the stimulus on your body, and it's quite a harsh stimulus when you're going from bike burpees to swim. It'd be nice to rather isolate those stimuluses. So, like, you have your dedicated swimmer, you have 2 dedicated people. So far, the guys have done well, but they have 2 dedicated people on the AMRAP of the bike and the burpees, and then just 1 swimmer. We do have a team here that actually have 2 swimmers and 1 person dedicated to the bike. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do. I'm very curious to see, actually. I haven't seen him in a while. Be curious to see if that guy's still going at a decent pace. Coming up to that 10-minute mark, then 2 minutes remaining. Remember, 12-minute AMRAP here for these athletes. 2 scoring opportunities. Scoring opportunity 1, the bike and the burpees, and then scoring opportunity 2 in the pool. As many widths as you can. And And you can even hear the commentator, the MC there, just saying 2 minutes left, empty those tanks. You're going to start seeing that pace as well, increasing now, surely. There we have it. Athletes really are starting to pick it up now. And again, our man in the blue, he's at the same tempo throughout on those burpees. He knew what he was coming here to do, and that is to burpee like he is right now. And they're also choosing to have that dedicated swimmer. But I must say, the swimmer looks like he's taking a bit of strain at the moment. But that's okay. At least there's 2 scoring opportunities here. This is really, really going to mix things up on the scoreboard. So it'll be interesting to see that leaderboard after this. As you can see there, that was a bit of a wider shot there. You can see that the width of this pool, it's not the widest pool in the world, so it's actually not that far of a swim. However, constantly getting out of the pool, you are going to be using your lats, you're going to be using your triceps. Remember, one of the big muscle groups for swimming is your lats. And basically, yes, it's out of a pool. It's not as hard as a muscle up. You're basically doing a mini muscle up every single time you get out that pool. Oh man, yeah, on the left of the screen, in his blue and black shorts, he's been moving nicely. Here's our swimmer for the Burpee King, the man in the white t-shirt and the blue shorts. Oh wait, no, I lied. There he is in lane 1. Apologies. Here is our dedicated swimmer. And that is time here. Brilliant stuff here by these teams. You can see she's happy. Exhausted, definitely. What an effort though. This is a tough workout. And if you're going, like I said, if you're doing 3 rotations, basically you're rotating on the bike, the burpees, and the swim, you're going to burn out a lot quicker than just having a dedicated swimmer. And I think a few of these teams has just went rotating between 3 of them, between all of these movements. So quite a tough one. But don't go anywhere. Of course, we have heat number 4 coming up next. Wait, what heat was this? I think this was heat 4. Heat 4. So we got heat 5 coming up next. Don't go anywhere. See you shortly. All right, off they go. And this is heat number 5 underway for Smoke on the Water. Smoke on the Water, absolutely brutal here today. I must say, we've seen the teams that have done they've had a dedicated swimmer and a dedicated burpee and bike. They've done really well so far. So that seems to be the strategy that works. Lane 1, we have the Wadfathers. Lane 2, we have Fail Under. Lane number 3, Registered Flex Offenders. Lane number 4, Grit and Grind. Lane 5, MCC Lifting on a Prayer. Lane 6, Team Alpha 2.0. Lane 7, Unboxed Unstoppable. Lane 8, Mussy Rise. Lane number 9, Three Stooges. Lane 10, Mussy Mongolias. Lane number 11, Barbell Bark. And then lane 12, Fit Life Legends. It is heat number 5. 2 scoring opportunities for our athletes. Scoring opportunity 1 is 12 calories on the bike, and 8 burpees. Scoring opportunity 2, as many widths as you can in the pool, but you have to get out the pool. So every lap you do, so there and back, that is 1 lap. You'll jump out. And after some time, that will take a lot of toll on you. Climbing out of that pool every single time. It's a lot better to just stay in the pool. Oh, uh, early stages, yeah, and already we see a lady resting on the other side of the pool. Not what you want to be seeing 2 minutes into this workout. So far, pacing's been fairly decent for all our athletes. I don't want pushing the pace too much. And it looks like most of these athletes are just going, all athletes doing everything. Like I said, hasn't really paid that much dividends. We've seen the teams that have a solo swimmer do really, really well. I'm not too sure how that other team did earlier on. Well, in the previous heat, they had one person just doing the bike and the burpees and 2 dedicated swimmers. So that's very interesting. I'm not too sure how that would have panned out for them. We will see the scoreboards a little bit later, and then we'll let you know. So far, definitely, just from what I've seen, it's that single dedicated swimmer and 2 on the bike that have been making the difference here for these teams. Okay, so you can step over the worm. It's not, I just wanted to confirm that because I haven't really seen too many teams do that. Honestly, that is pretty much, I wouldn't do the opposite foot like he's doing right now. I would just do the same, the leg that's basically facing the worm. And as our guy on the right hand side of your screen, I'll just step over with that foot, and then as we start getting closer and closer to the end of the workout, I'll start then hammering it down where I'm actually just jumping over to get that speed. In the beginning, just nice, easy, get the body used to it. So another thing is these type of events or workouts, because there's those 3 different stimuluses on the body, your body goes into like a shock state. So it's almost like that 2K run when you go out and the neuromuscular system's like, what is going on right now? And you feel so tired and you feel unfit, but then all of a sudden when you hit 2K, 2K3, then all of a sudden you're fine. Same sort of vibe here when you have these 3 different stimuluses. You're gonna the first few laps of the swim and the bike and stuff are gonna hit you hard. You're gonna be like, what the heck? So rather go out a little bit slower, do 1 or 2 rounds, and then start picking that pace up slowly but surely. And basically, in the runner's world, we call it negatives. So each rep gets a little bit faster. And that's kind of what you want, and how you want to pace this is just have those negatives as you keep moving through this workout. Each rep getting a little bit faster, a little bit faster. Our lady, she stopped very early on. It was like 2 minutes in, and it looks like she's the dedicated swimmer. She stopped on the other side of the pool. So this is one of those workouts where you just try to survive. You can see, obviously, for her, not this workout's not going to be one for the books. But you just try to survive and you get through it and not give up. That's the biggest thing. Just got to keep grinding it out. I set up on the bike there. You can see as she's pushing down. There's not too much of a bend in the knee. You just want a little bit of a bend in the knee. If you look at those top Gacha, I completely forgot the other guy's name now. Vanderpool, they all have a slight bend in the knee. Not using too much of the quads and the hamstring is quite equal, and saving a lot of energy. It's quite a good thing if you one day in the gym alone and just want to experiment on those smaller, finer details and want to become a better athlete. Things like that can help you improve your game a little bit in CrossFit. Just knowing where to set up your bike, so on the back of those chairs, if you're not aware, so on the actual, like the I forgot what it's called now. So you have your seat and then the pole or whatever that it's on. There's those little latches at the back, and they've got numbers on them. So 1 to I think 30 or 40. You must just know what number it is. So for me, I usually use a 15 or a 16 on the bike, depending on my shoes as well, because sometimes my shoe might have like a bigger stack, so a higher sole, and then I'll push it up to a 16, and then sometimes I use my more minimalist shoes and I'll bring that down to a 15. But just knowing where your setup is can save energy for you. So yeah. And it's the same with all the equipment, your assault bikes. Like assault bike, I know I need to be on a 7 for my seat. So those sort of things, just knowing those numbers, man, it can make such a difference to your game. Knowing that. Coming up to the 8-minute mark, probably a few seconds behind. I've noticed our clock's a little bit behind. I think there's a bit of a delay. So call it like 8:15, 8:20. Great swimming technique. Very nice. Started getting a bit lazy there with her feet at the back. Or his feet, sorry. And off he goes. And it looks like he might be the dedicated swimmer as well. And oh man, yeah, just getting through, resting on the other side. I almost guessed that. And I was like, let me not be that guy. Let me not say that on the live stream. And then he did exactly what I was thinking. But very, very tough. And especially now, even though you're in that pool, that heat still plays a major factor. And these later heats, man, they are definitely taking strain. So a lot of these athletes now starting to really take strain here in the water. And all the athletes, they've pretty much been going the same tempo on those burpees. I haven't really seen anyone like actually pick it up. Uh, and as I say that, it looks like they're just to the left. 2 minutes remaining. Looks like they're picking it up a bit on those burpees. Remember, this is their third workout. If you're new to CrossFit, you're not too sure of how things go. They've already run a 5K this morning. And they did a very, very leg extensive workout with a lot of burpees, a lot of thrusters. Basically squatting and throwing something above your head. If you're not sure what wall balls and thrusters are. And now they're in the pool here. Once again, they got legs on the bike. I'm not too sure what the damper's on. I'm not too sure if they can set that to whatever they want, but usually what competition organizers will do is they'll put it on damper 10, which is your resistance. So if you don't know what a damper is, that's resistance. And you'll slog it out on the highest resistance. So more legs, and then they're doing these burpees, hinging again. It's a lot of hinging, a lot of legs, lower back. So these athletes are going to be very, very fatigued, especially with a 5K trail, which is going to use a lot of stabilizers. Final 40 seconds here for these athletes. You want to see these guys start picking it up now. Now this is where you got to hammer it. Final 30 seconds. They need to really put the hammer down now to try and get as many reps. "20 seconds. And you can see these athletes have really, really taken strain today. Little push there at the end. And he gets those 12 calories. That was great work there. And there you have it. Nice little fist pump from teammates, some judges. Right. Next up, we got that heat number 6 coming up. Should be a nice little battle there. We can see a couple of the Lions Bay guys here as well. MCC. So yeah, it's going to be a great battle. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back in a little bit. All right, off they go. Here we are. Heat number 6 underway here at Fitchella, brought to you by Reebok. And we are going to have fun in the water. Is that Tian? I think that is Tian. T-Man, come on. Is that swimming, brother? Heat number 6. Lane number 1, peanut butter sandwich. Lane 2, Savage Bay Lions. Lane 3, IP Goose. Lane number 4, Lions Bay Legion. Lane number 5, AWD Wad. Lane 6, Base Yo Flace. Lane 7, Lions Bay Triple Threat. Lane 8, Tripops. Lane 9, Pink Panthers. Lane 10, Lions Valley Fused. Lane 11, MCC X Force. Lane 12, MCC Thrice is Nice. Open up myself a Slayer here. Get some caffeine in the body. I think these guys need more caffeine than I do right now. Nice long time underwater there. I think that's Drickus. Fly for dispatch actually. Good little player. Your computer shouts at you. Alright, so there we go. All sorted. Alright, so we're going to see here again, what are these athletes going to do? Remember, every athlete has to get one length in the water, and then after they can have a dedicated swimmer and 2 dedicated athletes on those burpees and the bike. We've only seen one team go 1 person on the bike and the burpees, which is quite interesting. Like I said, waiting for those score sheets to update just to see actually how well they did do. So you have that step over. That's all you need to do in the beginning. Just step over, get those burpees out the way. One more burpee. Keeping that head above the water. So you also get water polo freestyle. So you'll probably find maybe some of these athletes have played water polo. They'll tend to swim with their heads above the water. It's not a bad thing to do either, but it's not exactly going to be the fastest. But also early days here still. Only 4 minutes in of a 12-minute AMRAP. 2 scoring opportunities. First scoring opportunity on the bike and the burpees, so 12 cows on the bike and then 8 burpees over the worm. And then second scoring opportunity is the width of the pool. It's not exactly the widest pool in the world, so it's quite a quick swim. And you can see a lot of these athletes just choosing to step over rather than jump over. Not too sure if that's a fatigue thing really early on in this, or I suppose now it's almost halfway, but still. So, I mean, yeah, they show face. Doesn't look very comfortable on those burpees. And again, we haven't seen dedicated swimmers for a couple of these teams. Looks like they're going, all three of them, swapping in and out of the pool and the bike and the burpees. Which, as I've mentioned, we've seen it hasn't been the greatest tactic. Teams that have done well, they had a single swimmer with two people on the bike and the burpees. Decent little pace there. Trying to see that damper. It looks like you can set the damper to whatever you want, so that does help athletes a lot. It doesn't look like they have to put that damper on 10. I know the Wico comps, Conan likes to program dampers on 10, which really sucks. And you can see again, just watching these athletes, they've all been changing out. It looks like this whole entire heat does not have a dedicated swimmer. They are all swimming. So it'll be again interesting to see how well this particular heat does. I'm actually going to take note of that heat in 6. I want to see the rounds here. If any of these teams jump into the top 10 or even the top 5 of those particular workouts. Maybe I eat my words, and these teams all jump into the top 10. That would be quite amusing. But I just don't feel it after seeing how well these other teams have done with that single swimmer. So we'll see what happens here. But this heat in particular, I don't know why, but they've been, especially the burpees, they've been moving a lot slower. Maybe they are really going to pick it up now in this final half. As I mentioned earlier, we talk about negatives, so each round gets a little bit faster and faster as you go. So you start off quite relaxed, and then as you complete a round, next round you go maybe a second or 2 seconds faster, and that's called a negative. You just want to keep getting negatives all the way to the final few minutes of this AMRAP. That's probably one of the best ways to target this sort of AMRAP. Obviously, not all AMRAPs. Something with the stimulus, where you have these 3 different stimuluses, quite fatiguing stimuluses you want to look at pacing yourself nicely. You don't want to be blown out. This is the type of thing where the burpees, your first round, you can blow yourself out on a burpee, and you're going to struggle to recover from that, especially if you're not having a dedicated swimmer as well. You're not getting the rest. If you are watching and you're not following ItsHappening.Africa, make sure that you hit that like and that subscribe button. And of course, the bell notification, so you know exactly when we go live. You'll get a notification on your phone. You can just click that and jump straight into the action here at Fitchella 2024. Nice technique there on those burpees. Moving nicely if she was just dropping straight to the floor, and that's what you want to do. Try to save those hamstrings. You don't want those hands touching the ground before your legs are back. You want to try to get those legs back, and then those hands basically just drop down to the floor. It was heat 3, heat 2, I can't remember now. There was a young lad there in lane number 1 who was really, really getting those burpees to perfection. Nice relaxed technique. You can see there kicking nicely with her feet. Looking good in the water there. Not the top end speed, but very good swim. looks like they also, yeah, there's no dedicated swimmer there. They're also just going, all three of them, going through everything. Last 2 minutes, yeah, let's see what these athletes can do. You see, some of these athletes are hurting right now. It is the fitness party. And I wonder how many of these athletes had a little party last night. There were some stories, some of these athletes that I know. I saw a couple of people with some beers in their hands, wine, the night before. I can't do that. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot drink before any event. I will die. I don't really drink much, anyways, but still, doing a beer before an event is just, I don't know how some guys do it. I just feel so nasty the next day. And like I said, some of these athletes that I know on this floor, I saw their stories last night on Instagram, and they had some beers and some wine. So very interesting. Coming up to that final 30 seconds there for these athletes. And there again, just if you look on the far left there, you can see how that lady there is doing her burpees. Basically just dropping to the floor. 10 seconds remaining. Big push now on the bikes. You can see that all the cadences have picked up. And that is a wrap here. Heat number 6 done and dusted at Fitchella. We've got heat 7 coming up next. Ooh, some cramp happening there. Ooh. Remember, athletes have done a 5K already and lots of squats. Jess on your screen. I think that's Jess. Yeah, it looks like Jess. Having a little lie down, some suntan. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll catch you in a bit. Heat number 7 up next. And off we go. It is heat number 7. All right, we're back here. Lost you guys there for a little bit. Heat number 7 underway. And if you're not sure of the setup, so where our camera is now, there is a crowd sitting just below the camera. So there's people basically watching on the other side of the pool. And the one lady, she was obviously twerking to her friend or boyfriend or whatever, but she obviously didn't realize the camera was right on her. So that was quite amusing. I had a good laugh before we started this. These athletes, some of them, moving a lot faster than what we've seen previously, especially in the previous heat. Right, so two scoring opportunities here for our athletes. Scoring opportunity 1 is on the bike and then the burpees over the worm. And then scoring opportunity 2, as many widths as you can. So they are swimming the width of the pool, not the length of the pool. So it's not too far of a swim, but it does add up eventually because you are constantly having to get out that pool. All right, in lane number 1, we have the Jugger Babies. Lane number 2, we have MCC Baywatch Babes. Lane 3, Lions Bay Flex and Furious. Lane number 4, How Did We Get Ya? Lane 5, Howling Alphas. Lane number 6, No Diane. Lane 7, Little Lisa's. Lane number 8, Vinnig Frikkies. Lane number 9, the Fairy Wad Mothers. Lane number 10, Lions Bay Oreo Snatches. Lane number 11, Alex is turning 30. And then lane 12, the Finkles. So remember, Finkles walking away with, I think it was a heat win or second, I can't remember now, in the previous workout. Ladies have been to the CrossFit Games before as a team. So plenty of experience for the sisters. They're out there in lane number 12. And it looks like we have dedicated athletes here. You can see a couple of them with their shoes on. And generally, that means they are going to stay on those bikes and those burpees. You can see that someone's already having a fat laugh there. I think that's Little Lisa's. I think they got the dedicated swimmer there. You can see two of them in the white and black, and then one swimmer in the red. She's in the pool currently. And then right next to them, they are changing out. They are all three of them are swimming. Looks like one of um, those spinning classes. I don't know if you guys have seen those crazy dance spin classes. My word, things we do nowadays. Emiliano there on the screen, and there are the Finkles there, and they are hammering it down on that bike. Only 4 and a bit minutes in, and they are sending it on that bike. Which is, yeah, interesting to see if they can hang on to that pace. And we're going to have the top five shown shortly. All right, back here. And in a little bit, we're going to have the top five on the scoreboard. And Howling Alpha is still sending it. They've been looking really good on those burpees and the bike, as well as the Finkles. The Finkles, in terms of the ladies, they have non-stop been hammering that bike. They've been putting it down serious cadence. Our lady here still on the left hand side in the red. In and out of the pool, nice and relaxed. Still plenty time. Alright, so we'll have the top five men shown after this heat. Those would be your current leaders. Obviously excluding this heat as well. So obviously this heat will change things up a bit, but you'll get an idea. But yeah, we look at the Finkles again, and they are just, every single one of them just stand on the bike the whole entire time, just sending it. Remember, it's only 12 cows, and then they onto those burpees. I haven't seen if they have a dedicated swimmer. That's the only thing I haven't seen. Plenty time, yeah, for these athletes. Plenty time. And again, we look at those burpees just dropping down to the floor. That's exactly how you want to do those burpees. Great stuff there on that left side. and our lady there next to them just struggling to get out the pool there, but she is deep in the paint cave right now. Jugger babes out there. I think alphas, they are still on those burpees. They are moving. I think they definitely, in terms of scoring opportunity one, I think they're going to be right up there. They have just not stopped moving. I'm not too sure about the swim too much. Just from what I've seen, they haven't looked too great on the swim. But in terms of the bike and the burpees, they are looking phenomenal right now. And then our team here in the white and black, I think that is Little Lisa's. I think it is. They've been doing really well as well. Final minute, from what I heard that announcer say. Coming up to those final 30 seconds. Bit of a delay with our clock, so just ignore that. See these athletes putting down the hammer here. They're trying to get through as many reps as they can, or rounds, should I say. Really starting to send it. And that is time, yeah. And man, the Howling Alphas, I really would like to see how they've done there. We're going to get those top 5 men teams in just a bit. And off we go. Heat number 8, kicking off here at Fitchella 2024, brought to you by Reebok. I'm going to jump straight into lane assignments. Lane 1, we have Davies and Sons. Lane number 2, CrossFit Juggernaut Surf and Turf. Lane number 3, CFJ Big Dogs. Lane number 4, Tiger Fits Magic. Lane number 5, Brotato. Lane number 6, MCC Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Lane 7 is CCF7130. 8 is Papa Bears. Lane number 9, Kettlebell Queens. Lane 10, How to Pay a Hake. Lane 11, MCC Plan B. Lane 12, Thrive Concept 3. And it looks like it is ridiculously hot out there. Early days, yeah. So athletes don't need to be sending it right now. Got a lifeguard here as well, with that red vest on. And looks like they're lane number 3, the Big Dogs, really putting the hammer down. Let's keep an eye on CrossFit Juggernauts. If I remember correctly, I think they either came second or they won last year. And it's lane number 2. So keep an eye on them. Looks like our homie out there with the red and black shorts doing some Muay Thai and Tour de France all in one. All right. Right, so these are your top 5, the captains of each team. We got Callum Diebel, no stranger there, obviously from CrossFit semi-finals, did really well. Jandre Krieger, Reinier Boter, Kevin Deutsch, and then Mornay Small. Those are your team captains at the moment. We will get those team names there as well, but those are the captains of the top 5 teams. Like I said, no strangers there. Those athletes fairly well known here in CrossFit in South Africa, and semi-final. So coming up to that 5 minute mark now. Athletes in this particular heat have been moving particularly fast on these burpees. And it helps when you are a little bit later. Like, yes, it's hot and you're going to suffer a bit, but you have that knowledge of knowing exactly where the other teams were. Oh man, yeah, doing circles there, doing those burpees. It's our lifeguard. Just making sure no one drowns. He's not really our lifeguard, please don't take him seriously. It's just, he's just wearing what looks like a lifeguard outfit. He's an actual athlete. And there's our Muay Thai slash Tour de France athlete. All right, and those captains. For those teams, we're going to get those team names up for you in a little bit. At the top of your screen again. And the big dogs, guys who are moving really well in this workout, they are currently in that top 5. But we know Team Juggernauts, like I said, they either came second or they won last year. So we've got to keep a close eye on Team Juggernaut. They are not one to be slept on. Papa Bears, so lifeguard. And a lot of these teams, again, are just going with all 3 of them just to swim. It's quite brutal. Looking very, very good here in lane number 2. And guess who it is? Juggernaut, Surf and Turf. Very, very capable athletes here in this heat, I must say. Very heavily strapped shoulder. Hopefully not giving him too much issues. Still a long way to go here at Fitchella. Unit there on that bike. Jeez. And then I just got confirmation now we'll also get the top 5 ladies on your screen. in a little bit as well. Interesting. Interesting. We got that CCF moving nicely, as well as can't stop, won't stop. Nice attitude to have, especially in a workout like this. Just gotta grind it out. Like I said, our Muay Thai slash Tour de France athlete here on the bike, putting the hammer down a little bit. Cadence increasing there, as well as look at our man here, really hammering it down. Done with these 12 cals. Remember, two scoring opportunities. Got to get through 12 calories on the bike and then 8 burpees over the worm. Names on your screen right now are the captains of those teams. That is Team on the Move, Surf and Turf, Boterbilla, Sentinels, Big Dogs, and Legion. Those are your top 5. So Callum Deeble in Team on the Move, Surf and Turf is John Kruger. Lane number 3. In third place is Boterbilla, Ranier. Then we've got Sentinels, Kevin, and then Big Dogs. Those are your top 5 at the moment. Almost a wrap here, and it looks like Surf and Turf. Strong team. 20 seconds. Done and dusted. You can see the teams that want a podium spot versus the teams that are just here for a draw. The half fives in the one lane and the other lane, they are just fighting for those burpees. Every rep counts. And that is it here for heat number 8. Next up, we got heat number 9. So don't go anywhere. I'll be with you guys in a little bit. All right, off they go. You can see the one lady there, absolutely not ready. She had a bit of a shock when she heard the three, two, one. But my word, look at this, homie, and that reach. Gee whiskers. Damn. Guy's got some daddy long legs for arms. Homie is, I mean, he literally came. Okay. If these guys do not finish at the top, I don't know. I feel like they're going to smash the swim. This guy just looks like Michael Phelps. I mean, what are we doing here? All right. Lane heat number 9. Lane at number 1, we got Juggernaut, Rest in Peace. Lane number 2, Hape Sips. Lane number 3, Deep South Ladies. Lane number 4, MCC, the 3 Mulleteers. Lane 5, MCC Thruster Thugs. Lane 6, Fit Men for Hire. Lane number 7, MCC Drie Buffel, blah 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 blah. Lane number 8, What's the Point? Lane number 9, Flex Appeal. Lane number 10, Tiger Tribe. Lane number 11, Thrustosaurus Rex. And lane number 12, Tiger Fit Shake and Bake. But right now, Michael Phelps is just destroying the rest of the field. He's probably, I'm not even kidding to you, he's probably about 2 lengths or laps, sorry, widths ahead of everyone else. Unbelievable length on that guy. I think they literally just went and signed him for this particular workout. A bit of an issue. I'm not too sure what is he complaining about, but the athlete there on the left was complaining about something. Not too sure what he was complaining about, but yeah. As I said earlier, there's no point in getting angry with the judges. You must remember that a lot of these judges are here volunteer as a volunteer. They're basically doing you a favor. There's no point in losing your cool with them. All right, back here. Sorry, a bit of an internet issue there, but we are back. As I was saying, no point in losing your cool with the judges here. They're volunteers. They're doing you a favor by actually being here. And unfortunately, in South Africa, we just don't have the systems just yet where we have judges that are being paid and do this for a living. And that is a big problem in CrossFit in the world, actually, is judges. If you look at even the CrossFit Games, I mean, that is it's a professional outfit, and you have these guys who are not being paid. They're volunteers to be there. And unfortunately, you're going to have issues. There are going to be teething issues until there's an actual board or something. We are always going to have issues with judges. So rather be nice, just ask what the issue is, don't lose your cool, and just remember they are volunteers. All right, we have our top five females. The teams, just making sure, yes, this is our top five females. In first place, we have Tigers in lane number two. In second place, just for clicks, lane number three. Jeez, I need to stop reading out lanes. That is my biggest problem. In third place, Super Squirrels. In fourth place, Powerful Girls. In lane five, Dumbbell Darlings. Those are your top five females at the moment, obviously excluding this heat. But you get an idea of the teams currently. In first, Tigers. Second, Just for Clicks. Third, Super Squirrels. Fourth, Powerful Girls. And then five, Dumbbell Darlings. Top five here at Fitchella, brought to you by Reebok. Not every day you see a homie in a Speedo and Crocs. It's one or the other. Nice comfortable cadence there. These two ladies having a bit of a swim off. Wonder how many lengths Michael Phelps is ahead of everyone else at the moment. So going to get those team names in a bit as well. Top five. I'll make sure not to call out lanes. Get into such a habit of just calling out lanes the whole time. Getting it done. Just one more to go. And she decides she's going to go backstroke with this one. I'll definitely just stick to the breaststroke. That backstroke also uses a lot of energy, especially if you're not familiar with that stroke. It's awesome to see. Remember, we have beginner teams with the RX teams. It's a great experience for the athletes to compete with RX athletes as well, just to kind of get the feel of it. Get that in too many comps. I know there's a few comps now, like Fitchella, as well as Wico, that kind of do it. And it's nice to see. Nice to get the feeling for it. And we have those top five men's teams coming up shortly. This, of course, being heat number 9. One more heat to go after this, and then there's going to be a short little break before we jump into event 4. Remember, they've already had 3 events here. We're gonna see a lot of these athletes really pushing the pace right now. You can see some of them have chosen a dedicated swimmer. We know Michael Phelps is their dedicated swimmer, signed specifically for this event. Massive contract. It's like $1 million or something like that. And if you don't know who Michael Phelps is, shame on you guys. Coming up to the final 2 minutes. This our ladies working hard, yeah, sharing the swim, all three of them. Oh, jamming there. She's just having the best time. Too much energy there. She needs to be working harder. I suppose she's waiting. And off she goes onto her bike. Like I said earlier, one of those, what is it, dance spin classes. There's Michael Phelps there on the left of your screen. It's not really Michael Phelps, in case you guys are taking it seriously. But he swims like Michael Phelps. Can't wait to see how many lengths he actually gets, or width he gets. 90 seconds, and he's already back. That is just insane. That is absolutely insane. And he's pushing nicely on that bike. He's moving into those 8 burpees, getting support from his teammate. Final minute for these athletes. Big push now for them. This is where you just empty out the tank. Leave nothing on the floor. Just empty the tank out. Man, it's crazy. I wonder if Fuff has royalties. I don't know if maybe someone can answer in the chat. Does he have royalties for like those speedos? Is he making money every time someone buys a speedo, a Fuff speedo? Oh, she's done. The workout hasn't even ended yet, and she's done. I thought that chick actually tripped that she's doing a burpee. And done and dusted, yeah. Heat number 9. What an effort, man. I'm amped to see what Michael Phelps got, because holy smokes, you guys need to rewind and go have a look at that start. He was literally like 3 body lengths ahead of everyone else on that first lap. It was insane. All right, don't go anywhere, guys. We got one more heat coming up. It is heat number 10, and then we're gonna have a short little break before we jump into event 4. Right, off we go. This is the final heat, heat number 10. Underway. And lane number one, deadlift divas. Lane number two, di cool tunnies. Sorry. Sometimes I've got to switch to Afrikaans and English. Three is Swole Safari. Lane number four is Strand Honey, and then lane number five, Muscle Mice. Lane six, Howling Dakotas. Lane seven is KSF Sentinels. They are in the top five of the men. Lane number eight, the Kettlebells. Lane number nine, Deadlifts for Donuts. Lane 10, Swag Squad. Lane 11, Unboxed Mavericks. And then lane 12, Relentless Heart. We got Blaine in the comments here. He says, I'm sad watching this. I was supposed to be here, but work don't want me to shine. I'm really sorry, Blaine. It really sucks, dude. Toby, 100%. Bike and burpees pace is a lot faster when you're not swimming. 100%. I have to agree with you. We've seen that throughout the heats, where if there's a dedicated swimmer, those guys not swimming, they are moving. There was one team, like I said, I think it was, what heat was it? Was it 5 or 6? They went with 2 swimmers, and they only had 1 person on the bike and the burpees, which was quite interesting. So once those scoreboards are settled, I'd love to go actually see how that team did. I'll just have to run it back on the stream just to see where they were.